Welcome to Manage IT. My name is GS Tivana, and I am today here to discuss business impact analysis document, which is a really important document. You can download this template from our website, manageit.no, and you can follow us on LinkedIn just by clicking this icon. And okay, business impact analysis document is something that is part of your security policy. You have to have this document, and it should be updated. I recommend 2 times in a year. It's a good practice. Or if you have some changes in your organization, it's good to review this document. And it should be a living document. It's not something that you can keep on your computer and forget about it. You have to keep on working on this document all the time. That's really important. And before we discuss this document, I also assume that you already have performed your risk assessment of your organization. So I assume that because that's a previous step of this document. Usually, how you begin with security is you first identify your goals of your organization. What's your aim? What are you doing in your organization? And then you define the risks. And then in the same document you have threats. And then in this document here, you are taking account that if those threats are active or in real, that happens, then what to do. What happens? What's the impact of those threats if they become real? So this is what we are going to discuss. And okay, let's start with here. You just write your organization name and date when you have performed or reviewed this document. Before we go further, I have a disclaimer here it says that, okay, Manage IT is delivering this document, but this is just a template. It's upon you to use it or not to use it, and the risk is yours. So please don't hold us responsible if something happens. Content, not important. Okay, here, section 1. This is really important because you are giving your BIA. I'll just take a short form here. BIA, a reference number. It should be unique. Version number. Where is this document located? And date. When are you going to review it next time? As I said, I recommend 2 times a year, but again, it depends upon your company's policy. Then you have ownership. Usually, this document is owned by senior management because this process is initiated by senior management. And then who is involved in this process? Usually, these names here are senior management or the person who's in charge of infrastructure, databases, the person who is really in charge about delivering that function of your organization. So these people are usually from the top management. Here, document control, version numbers, date. This is important. When was the last amendment done? Or if this is the first time you're doing it, so yeah, you fill it on the first row here. And then you have sign off. Usually this document is again signed off by senior management. As I said, this document, this process is started by senior management, so they are the one who sign it. But here, what you do is you have to fill some extra information. Let's say your next review is, we are in January now, let's say, and your next review is in June after 6 months, but your company is planning to build up a new facility, and that's done in April. So you have to write that thing here. And yeah, some anomalies than normal plan, and then the one who is signing this document. This is important. And all right, this here is section 2, Service Act information. Let's say you are a call center and delivering first line support to your customers. Yeah. So that's the aim of your company. Then here you are going to write who is delivering the hardware, who is delivering the telephone line, who is delivering electricity to your facility, the people who are in charge of different, the people who are delivering you something, to reach that aim. So you fill those names here, number one. Number two, you also fill the names of your senior managers, the people. If something happens, let's say lightning struck, whom to call, and okay, I have to call Mr. X. What's his number? Instead of finding in your phone, this document should be very easily available. This part of the document should be very easily available so that you can reach those people easily. So you can add or subtract this. So this is a contact information. If something happens, whom you should contact. So this is really important. And that's now we are on the server structure. Here you can put your organization chart. You don't have to be very detailed here. I'm keeping it blank here. You can just put some boxes here, and CEO, and some managers here, infrastructure manager, database manager. And most likely this chart here is going to be those people who are part of this document, who are creating this document. So that's good to see. Good to know. Okay, and I'll just reduce this document a little bit more. Gives my screen size. Okay, here. Here you're going to see staff numbers and locations. Okay, if your organization have more than one location, so definitely you can fill up all the locations here. Who owns this building, and are you using or sharing this building with someone else, or you own this facility and using it for yourself? How many people are working in this location, and how many people, if let's say lightning struck, how many people can work from home, how many people can work from an alternative location? So you have to fill up some information about your staff and location in this part. And then you have stakeholders and dependencies. Here you are going to fill up information about those people on whom you are dependent to deliver your goals of your organization. Plus, the people who are dependent upon you should be here. Dependency and dependent, and other parties that you think should be called this if lightning struck, if there is a disaster. So the good information, some comments here. You can write some, there what are the functions of that person, maybe telephone number or an email you can write. And this is critical section 5, critical function analysis. As I said, that I already assume that you know what your company is doing. What's your aim? And you should not write here like 10 lines. Just say, as I said, a call center might have something like to deliver first line support to all customers. Simple, very simple. And to deliver this goal, what are the functions you need? You have to list those functions here. And you have to be very precise. And don't write like 15, 20 functions here. And write those main 5, 10 functions that are really critical to deliver this goal. Write them. For every function that you mention here, you should have an impact assessment for every function. And so you just copy this page and write it. Let's say the function 1 was telephone line, let's say. And then you have to write, how does this function affect you if it's not available for this much of time? That's how you write. And these are some you can add some things, impact or disruption, or delete some of them. So this is more common. These are most common things that I've used. And this you can change obviously from hours to seconds. Let's say you are a streaming company. So every second counts. A 1 minute black screen on TV is a lot. So maybe you will like to write 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and 60 seconds here. So this is something you have to fill. Just copy this page and paste this as many as functions you have mentioned here. So that's important. And this is very important. I assume if you are working on this document, you already know recovery time objectives and recovery point objectives. If you don't know, I'll try to be very short on this. If you take one point, let's say lightning struck at time x, so how long does it take to restore your function to normal in future? RTO is something in future. So how long will it take to restore telephone line, for example? So that's what you have to fill and comments. And RPO is something back in the time, in the past. Let's say your database server is down at point X, lightning struck, and your database server is gone. When was the last time you took a backup? And how long is for the next backup? So this is something in the past. When was the last backup taken, and when was the good data available? So something on the back of the time. So you list your functions here. Let's say database. Did you take some backup? Yes, backup. And if it's backup, then you have to write it in your business continuity plan that, okay, we are going to take 2 times in a day, a backup 2 times a day, or 3 times in a day if they're really important. Or you are having replication for this server. You are replicating or syncing with some other backup a server. Or the last keystroke, real time. Or maybe you're having a server, a telephone server here, ISDN server, let's say, and you're having a high availability server, something that's a failover, having a failover technology available that in a split second doesn't make any difference. So we are having that facility for this particular function. Or it's just a functionality only, you don't care to take a backup, or you don't care at all. So you have to write that down here. And details of this will go in business continuity plan. Resources. These are resources that you need to restore your services, number one. Number two, you can use these. Let's say you were struck by lightning and your building is down now, right? So how much staff do you need for alternative building? How many workstations do you need to restore your aim of your organization, like taking calls, let's say? What do you need during the time of outage, if it's long? So resources. And usually you should not have this option here, single point of failure. But let's say if you have one, then you should mention it. If you are delivering a service like first time support and you have only one switchboard, let's say, and no failover, no backup, you should mention it here. That's important. Key time deliverables. This is something that's crucial for your business aim, but this is something you do, let's say, once or twice in a year, and this is not something that you regularly do on a daily basis. It's at one point of time you're doing something. So that you could fill up here. And I assume that you have already done the risk assessment. So link or detail to that document goes here, and all the risks that you have mentioned in this document should go here. And down you have business continuity plan. Obviously, next step from BIA is continuity plan, and you should mention about your continuity plan. Do you have a BCP or no? If yes, is it updated or not? Have you tested it or not? Or any other requirements? On the last page, I have recommendations of how to use this document, and you can obviously delete this last page from your original document if you opt to use it. Please go through it, and I hope this is helpful. You can download this page from manageit.no. Thank you very much.